So greetings from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania once again. We're in a bit of a quieter location. I mean, the highway's right back there, but this is the Evergreen Cemetery. The Gettysburg National Cemetery is just over the hill there a little bit. I have visited there before, and we might visit there later today, but this is the Evergreen Cemetery, and if you're familiar with Gettysburg, you might know why I'm here. Of course, you've also read the title of the video too, but the grave of Jennie Wade is here in this cemetery. I kind of know where it is. I think I might see it up there. It has a flag on it, so that's one of the things you gotta look for. I think I parked a little bit further down. But yeah, like I said, if you're familiar with Gettysburg, you know her story. If not, it's kind of an interesting story. She's the only direct civilian casualty of this battle. I mean, it's always possible that there were other deaths due to indirect causes of this battle, but hers was a direct cause. She was actually shot, not intentionally, but accidentally during the battle, the last day of battle. It's an interesting story. Just gotta find her grave. And her house, well, it's not her house. They call it the Jennie Wade house. It's not her house, it was her sister's house, but we'll get up there too. I just passed that on the way here. Well, maybe as we're looking for her grave, we'll tell a little bit of the story. I think I see it right up here. There's an American flag right up there. So as this battle was raging, and most likely before it even started, many of the civilians would have left the area just to avoid being in a location like this where a major battle was happening. But Jennie and some of her other family members went to her sister's house. Her sister just had a newborn infant, so they went to help out. I guess it wasn't really convenient to leave the area due for that reason, so they stayed in the area. Now the house wasn't like directly in the middle of the battlefield, but it was nearby. So that's why she was still in the area. She was there to help out her sister. Yeah, I thought that flag might be it, but that's not her grave. Her grave has a statue on it too, I think depicting her. All right, I think I might see it up here. Go around this tree here. I see another flag up there with a statue. I believe that might be her. She's one of the only, it's only one of two females that have a perpetual flag by their grave. It's here and the one at the Betsy Ross house. And so while she was at her sister's house, she was working in the kitchen, I think the morning of July 3rd, making bread, as the story goes, and a bullet pierced the house. I think it went through two doors. The kitchen door and the parlor door hit her in the back, went through her shoulder blade and pierced her heart. So she died instantly. They figure as many as 150 bullets hit the house during the course of the war. I mean, that's how much fighting was going on here. There's 3 days. Any houses in the area had numerous bullet holes in them. Several of them have cannon holes in them. Maybe we'll film that one today. I'm not sure how much time I'll have, but yeah, I found, here she is, Jennie Wade. So yeah, she died baking bread, and it was an accident. She was not shot intentionally. It was pure accident. I mean, there's different theories as to where that bullet came from. One theory, which is probably incorrect, says that it was a bullet of a Confederate sharpshooter, but that doesn't really make sense to me, because he would have had to, you know, she was behind the bullet went through several different doors. You know, the sharpshooter would not have been able to see through two doors to shoot a civilian woman making bread. That doesn't make any sense. And yeah, so here she is, Jennie Wade, aged only 20 years old, killed July 3rd, 1863 while making bread for Union soldiers. Her full name was Mary Virginia Wade. Not sure if that's her, it's supposed to represent like the Virgin Mary or something like that. There's her flag. That's some other words for her. With a courage born of loyalty, she hath done what she could. And from what I read, there were some Union soldiers staying in the house. In fact, when she fell on the floor and the other women came in the kitchen and cried out in horror, some of the men came running down. So she's probably baking bread for some soldiers and for her family and her sister's family that were there. Yeah, they buried her. Initially, they buried her in the backyard, because that's all they could do at that point. Because it was in the midst of a battle, and you got to bury the body back then, or it'll start stinking. So initially, she was buried there first. And I think she was moved later in 1864. She was moved in town. They reburied her in town at a German Reformed church on Stratton Street, and then later on she was reburied here. So she moved a couple times until she found this final resting spot here. Yeah, so it is an interesting story. You know, most of the stuff here at Gettysburg is all military related, but here's just a civilian story, kind of like a side story, kind of a consequence of the battle here. But like I said, I've been to Gettysburg a number of times. That's the first time I ever visited her grave there. And not to be, I know some people might get mad at what I'm about to say, but I feel like stories like this, you know, her story gets a bit embellished as time goes on. You know, like the gravestone talks about her loyalty and her courage. And I'm not downplaying her at all when I say this, but you know, she was just doing her thing. You know, she wasn't trying to be a hero or anything. She was just baking bread. She was kneading bread, actually. She hadn't even started baking yet. She was just getting bread ready to make for her family. And like I said, there's a couple Union soldiers, if I could talk, in the house with them, staying there. She was just doing her day-to-day activities. She wasn't trying to be a hero or anything. Just a regular, normal person like the rest of us. And like I said, I'm not trying to downplay her or her story at all, not one bit. You know, she was just a normal person like the rest of us. Like I said, just making bread. A lot of times, a lot of the heroes of history were just normal people who got caught up in the history of things that happened. I do believe it's cool that her story is memorialized like this, though. It's something non-military about this battle. It's the consequences. It makes you think about the consequences of the battle to just the normal people that were here in town. All right. Yeah, just one last look at her statue. And it's not actually difficult to find. It is a large statue with the American flag. Looks like it's at the corner of Evergreen and Mountain View streets here in the cemetery. Like I said, the Gettysburg National Cemetery is just on the other side of that fence. I can see some of the monuments. Actually, the main monument is right there. We might visit that later today. I see a number of people over there, and there's no one over here. Except me and Jenny. Alright, so before I finish this video out, I am going to quick drive to where what they call the Jennie Wade house is. Remember, it's not her house though. It's the house where she died. It was her sister's house. We'll quick stop there. I think it's some kind of museum now or something, so we're probably not going to go inside, but at least get a look at it from the outside. There's a parking lot there. So I'll see you there, hopefully. All right, we're back in town. You can see the Jennie Wade gift shop. The house is right next to it. This is Baltimore Street, or the Baltimore Pike. A large parking area right here. I think it's where one of the stop-offs for the Gettysburg battlefield tours. I see the one bus up there, but yeah, the Jennie Wade house is just down there, just straight ahead. Yeah, right here it is. The gift shop is right next to it. Got a sign here. Jenny asks, "Please keep out of the flower beds, thanks." Because they have a statue over here. Yeah, there she is with her loaf of bread that she was making. So there she is, and there's the house that she's baking the bread in. Yep, there she is again. They got the story down here. You know, in the morning of July 1st, you know, Jennie Wade, they went to her sister's house. And then despite the menace of stray bullets that constantly struck house walls, she busied herself making biscuits, but making bread. And then early on the morning of July 3rd, she was fatally shot by a stray bullet. Yeah. There's a picture of her 1861 photograph of what she looked like. So alright then, that'll be it for this video. Interesting story. I'm glad I finally got to stop in at the house and the grave. Like I said, I've been here a number of times, never did that. But anyway, we're going to head out of town. Hopefully get to some more quieter locations. Still got quite a few places I want to visit here in Gettysburg. Beautiful October day to do it. Alright, as always, thanks for coming along, and hopefully I'll see you around in the next Gettysburg video.